Hello and welcome to another update video about Aave. Yeah, slow motion decline like many other cryptos as well. It certainly doesn't yet give us the impression that a lasting low has been established. I mean, it could be, but this is just overlapping and corrective price action. So I would like to see another low here potentially. We even have a trend line here that we can draw, which we could use as an initial signal that the trend is breaking to the upside. Yeah, that we are ready for an early rally, because the next move up would be a third wave rally if it all goes well. As per Elliott Wave, the most bullish wave. First of all, however, we need to find a low. First of all, we need to establish a low, and without an impulse or anything that at least looks impulsive, and it is followed by a corrective decline. Without that, I cannot say that a low has been established. We have a trend line here. I would pay attention to that. This is actually looking like a descending broadening wedge a little bit like what Bitcoin is doing to a degree. And it's very slow motion. These patterns are often characterized by slow motion movement. You will probably find a few different interpretations, Elliott Wave interpretations, how this can be counted. But this one works. I'm looking at an ending diagonal here to the downside in this C wave, and within the C wave, just adjusting all of that, within the C wave, we have 5 waves, and this here seems like the 5th wave. And there will be other ways of dealing with this. I mean, I could also say then that's potentially more relevant actually, but it doesn't matter really in the short term. I could say, okay, wave 3 was here, wave 4 was here, and we're now starting the wave 5 decline. Does it make a difference? Not really. I just need to make sure that the third wave is not the shortest in this diagonal, which it doesn't seem to be, but it could be. I mean, that means the wave 5 should be rather short if we have it like that, because as you can see now, the wave 3 is already shorter than wave 1. That is normally not really valid in such an expanding diagonal. So we'll see. I mean, I'll leave it like that for now. It looks better looking at the proportions, but obviously the problem remains. Wave 3 must not be the shortest. We'll see. I mean, one more low. Yeah, looking at $58. If it hits 58, then the wave 3 will not be the shortest one. Wave 5 would be the shortest one. So 58 is sort of, I think, the next target, unless it really breaks out impulsively above the trend line and breaks then also above the wave 2 high at $75. That would be a good signal that the overall correction is over. But at the moment, we're dealing here with corrective action to the upside. And what I need to see is normally that the wave 5 goes below the third wave low. And this was a low at 61.40. So it would be likely to come down to 58 or even 53. That would be quite long and quite drastic, however. Don't necessarily see it get there. 58 would be ideal. And yeah, that's the next support. I mean, it is coming down in slow motion. You can recognize the waves quite well. Interestingly, you can see it on the 1 hour chart. It has been oversold here, has recovered a bit, but is again fairly low actually on the 1 hour. But the 1 hour is not so relevant. What is more relevant is the 4 hour chart. What I'm thinking, because it did recover quite well on the RSI on the 4 hour, what you typically want, if it makes another low, and it seems increasingly it's coming down, but if it is coming down and makes another low, I think there is a good chance, because it was so much oversold here on the 31st of July, 1st of August, that it prints a higher low on the RSI on the 4 hour, and that is a fairly relevant time frame, but a lower low on the price chart. That is typically the bullish divergence that you want when it's turning around. Yeah, let's see if we had a divergence before. No, we didn't have a divergence here, but you often see those divergences at lasting lows. There isn't always a divergence, okay? There isn't always, you don't need a divergence, but sometimes you get them, and then it helps price to turn around to generate momentum to the other side. Sometimes you see them on different time frames. I mean, here we had a divergence, for example, that was in February, where it made a lower low, a pretty clear lower low. Don't know what that happened here. Let me just, I need to go back. Okay, that was February. Just want to zoom in here, because sometimes you only see them on the 1 hour or so. Sometimes we see them on the daily, but here we made a lower low on the price chart, a higher low on the RSI, and then it went. Sometimes you can see that Not always, but it's just something as an additional signal here as well. That was a pretty decent divergence. That was in December, January here. Lower low on the price chart, higher low on the indicator, and it did go, okay? So yeah, something to observe. Not much more to add. I think the preferred direction is still down. Not that I want it, but price action makes it quite likely at this stage. The advance here between the 31st of July and the 10th of August looks a bit like the previous advance here. So yeah, I don't see much change. So yeah, hopefully you like the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.